Shalom, my friends. What if I told you that the next 90 days could be the most important of your entire life? Not just a season of improvement, but a period of total transformation. A sacred window of time where you could alchemize your weakness into strength, your confusion into clarity, and your scarcity into overflowing abundance. What if, 90 days from now, the person you are today, the one who hesitates, who procrastinates, who doubts, was nothing but a distant memory, and in their place stood a warrior, a builder, a king, a soul aligned with its divine purpose? This is not a motivational fantasy. This is a spiritual technology, a 90-day protocol rooted in the deepest wisdom of the Torah. It is a declaration of war against the old you, and if you are truly serious about making this commitment, this video will be your blueprint. But first, I want you to answer this question in the comments below. What is the one habit, the one weakness, that you are finally ready to conquer in these next 90 days? Is it laziness, fear, distraction? Name your enemy, because you cannot defeat what you do not define. And as you declare your intention, I invite you to join this army of spiritual warriors. We are on a mission to gather 50,000 souls who are ready to stop playing small and start building the lives of greatness they were created for. If that is you, your first act of war is to hit that subscribe button. It is a signal to your own soul that the time for games is over. And for those who are ready for the ultimate spiritual arsenal, for the complete system of divine wealth and power, the Torah Millionaire Business School is your command center. This is where I reveal the 3,000-year-old Jewish money laws, the same principles that have guided kings, built dynasties, and created unstoppable prosperity. It is a $299 investment in a priceless inheritance, and enrollment is closing very soon. The link is in the comments. This is your call to the war room. All right, let's talk about 90 days. Why this number? In the secular world, they say it takes 90 days to form a new identity. There is neuroscience to this. It takes time to carve new neural pathways, to make discipline automatic, to turn conscious effort into unconscious competence. But the Torah goes deeper. The number 40 is a number of transformation. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights to cleanse the world. The Israelites wandered for 40 years to purify a generation. Moses was on Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights to receive the Torah. 40 is the number of gestation, of being reborn. So, why 90 days? Because we are going to go through this process twice, and then some. We are going to die and be reborn, and then we are going to solidify that new birth until it is unbreakable. 90 days is a declaration to God. I am not just trying this, I am becoming this. I am so serious about my transformation that I will undergo the process of rebirth twice over. This level of commitment, friends, is called Mesirat Nefesh in Hebrew, self-sacrifice. And it is a level of commitment that God cannot ignore. So, what is the this that you must do for the next 90 days? It is a 5-pillar protocol. I call it the Sinai Protocol, because it is about receiving the laws of your new life, just as Moses received the Torah on Mount Sinai. These 5 pillars are non-negotiable. You do them every day, no excuses, no negotiation, for 90 days. This is the blueprint. Pillar 1. The Pillar of Wisdom, Chokhmah. Every single morning, Before you engage with the world, you will spend 30 minutes feeding your mind with divine wisdom. This means studying a piece of Torah. It could be the weekly portion, a chapter of Psalms, a page of Talmud, a passage from the Zohar. The what is less important than the why. You are starting your day by aligning your mind with the mind of God. You are downloading the divine operating system before you run the programs of your day. Most people start their day with the junk food of social media, news, and emails. Their mind is immediately cluttered with anxiety, comparison, and distraction. But not you. For the next 90 days, you start with truth. You start with eternity. You start with the blueprint of reality itself. Why is this so critical? Because you cannot outperform your thoughts. If your thoughts are chaotic, your life will be chaotic. If your thoughts are rooted in divine wisdom, your life will be rooted in divine order. This 30-minute practice doesn't just give you information, it gives you formation. It shapes you. It transforms you from a creature of reaction into a co-creator of reality. Pillar 2. The pillar of discipline, Gevurah. Every single day, you will move your body with intention for 30 minutes. This is not about getting a six-pack. This is about building a warrior's spirit. The body is the vessel for the soul. If the vessel is weak, it cannot contain a powerful light. The great sage Maimonides taught that physical health is a prerequisite for spiritual service. You cannot serve God, you cannot build your mission, if you are tired, weak, and sick. For these 90 days, you will treat your body like the holy temple it is. You can run, you can lift weights, you can do yoga, you can walk in nature. The activity does not matter. The commitment does. Every drop of sweat is a prayer. Every strained muscle is a declaration. I am not a slave to my comfort. I am a servant of my mission. This daily act of discipline builds what the mystics call Gevurah, strength, severity, the ability to set boundaries and overcome obstacles. When you conquer the resistance in your body, you build the spiritual muscle to conquer the resistance in your life. Pillar 3. The pillar of service, Avodah. Every single day, you will dedicate 90 minutes of uninterrupted, deep work to your divine mission, your Avodah. For some of you, this is your business. For others, it is a creative project, a book, a new skill. If you do not know what your mission is, then for these 90 days, finding it becomes your mission. You will use these 90 minutes to read, to journal, to experiment, to pray, until you have clarity. Why 90 minutes? Because it is a significant investment. It is a declaration that your mission is not a hobby, it is your holy service. No phone, no email, no distractions, just you and your work. This is where you build your ark. Noah was commanded to build an ark before the flood came. He built it day after day, while the world mocked him. Your 90 minutes of avodah is you building your ark. You are building the vessel that will carry you through the floods of life, the vessel that will contain the blessings that are coming. Most people dabble. They work on their dreams when they feel inspired. But for these 90 days, you are not a dabbler. You are a builder. And you build every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Pillar 4. The pillar of connection. Hitbodedut. Every single day, you will spend 15 minutes in silent, personal conversation with God. This is the practice of Hitbodedut, as taught by the great Hasidic master Rabbi Nachman of Breslov. You go to a private place, a field, a room, your car, and you just talk to God, in your own words, like you would talk to your best friend. You tell him your struggles, your fears, your hopes, your gratitude. You don't need a prayer book. You don't need fancy words. You just need a sincere heart. Why is this so crucial? Because most people live their lives in a monologue. They talk to themselves. They worry. They ruminate. But they never actually talk to the one who can solve their problems. Hitbodedut turns your monologue into a dialogue. It opens the channel of communication with the source of all wisdom, all power, all love. In these 15 minutes, you are not just praying, you are building a relationship. You are reminding yourself that you are not alone. And when you know you are not alone, fear begins to dissolve. Clarity begins to emerge. And you start to receive divine instructions, the same way I did when I was in my financial crisis, and the voice told me, "Stop selling, start serving." Those instructions will guide you. They will be your personal Torah for the day. Pillar 5. The pillar of giving, tzedakah. Every single day, you will give something away. This is the pillar of tzedakah, which means righteousness or justice, but is commonly translated as charity. Every day you will consciously give. It could be $1 to a homeless person. It could be a compliment to a stranger. It could be a piece of advice to a colleague. It could be a prayer for someone who is suffering. The amount is not the point. The act is the point. Why? Because giving is the ultimate declaration of abundance. It is a statement to the universe that says, I have enough. I have more than enough. I am a channel, not a reservoir. Scarcity says, I must hoard. I must protect what is mine. Abundance says, I must share. I must circulate the flow. When you give every day, you are training your soul to live in abundance. You are unblocking the channels of shefa, of divine flow. The Talmud teaches that tzedakah saves from death. Why? Because death is the ultimate blockage, and giving is the ultimate unblocker. It is the antidote to the spiritual death of scarcity. These are the 5 pillars: wisdom, discipline, service, connection, giving. 30 minutes of Torah, 30 minutes of exercise, 90 minutes of deep work, 15 minutes of personal prayer, and 1 act of giving. Every day, for 90 days. No negotiation. This is not a self-help program. This is a spiritual war. You are taking back your life from the forces of chaos, of entropy, of the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, which wants you to stay small, comfortable, and asleep, and it will fight you. The first week will be hard. Your old habits will scream. Your ego will rebel. You will be tempted to quit. This is the friction. This is the test. And this is where you must remember your decision. You burned the bridges. There is no retreat. You must push through. The second week, it will get a little easier. You will start to feel a new sense of clarity, of energy. This is the momentum building. The third week, you will start to see results. A new opportunity will appear. A relationship will heal. An insight will dawn. This is the universe responding to your commitment. Let me go deeper into the mystical mechanics of why 90 days is so powerful. In Kabbalah, we teach that there are 3 levels of transformation. The first is teshuvah, return, which takes 40 days. This is where you break the old patterns and turn back to God. The second is tikkun, repair, which takes another 40 days. This is where you rebuild the broken vessels, where you install the new habits, where you repair the damage of the old life. The third is aliyah, ascent, which is the final 10 days and beyond. This is where you rise to a new level, where the new identity is solidified, where you become unshakable. 90 days takes you through all 3 levels. You return, you repair, and you ascend. This is why it is so powerful. You are not just changing a habit, you are undergoing a complete spiritual metamorphosis. There is also a profound connection between this protocol and the story of Jacob. Jacob worked for 7 years to marry Rachel, the woman he loved. The Torah says that those 7 years felt like a few days because of his love for her. But then he was tricked, and he had to work another 7 years. 14 years of labor for the woman of his dreams. But here is the secret. Those 14 years were not just about Rachel. They were about transforming Jacob from a man who deceived his brother into Israel, a man who wrestles with God and prevails. The labor was the crucible, the discipline was the forge, and at the end he was not the same man. The 90-day Sinai Protocol is your crucible. It is your forge. You are laboring not just for external success, but for internal transformation. You are becoming Israel. And by the end of 90 days, you will not recognize yourself. The 5 pillars will no longer be things you do. They will be who you are. You will be a person of wisdom, of discipline, of service, of connection, of giving. You will be a vessel, strong and clear, ready to receive the immense blessings that God has been waiting to give you. He is just waiting for you to build the container. I want to share a story. A young man came to me, lost. He was in his late 20s, working a dead-end job, living in his parents' basement, addicted to video games and junk food. He was the definition of a blocked soul. He told me, "Rabbi, I feel like my life is over before it even began." I gave him the Sinai Protocol. He laughed. He said, "Rabbi, I can't even get out of bed before noon. How am I going to do all this?" I said to him, "You are not going to do it. The man you are today cannot do it. But the man you will become on day 2 can. And the man you will be on day 3 can do it even more easily. You are not committing to 90 days of this. You are only committing to today. And then you will commit to tomorrow. That is all." He agreed to try. The first month was hell. He called me every other day, wanting to quit. I told him, "Just do today." He did. Around day 40, the calls stopped. I didn't hear from him for the rest of the 90 days. On day 91, he walked into my office. I almost didn't recognize him. He had lost 30 pounds. His eyes were clear and focused. He was standing tall. He told me that around day 45, something had clicked. The resistance had broken. The work started to pull him instead of him pushing the work. He had started a small online business during his 90-minute avodah block. It was already making a few $1,000s a month. He had moved out of his parents' basement. He was dating a wonderful young woman. He said to me, "Rabbi, I am not the same person. The old me is dead." This is not a fairy tale. This is the power of radical consistency, of divine technology. This is the promise of the Sinai Protocol. It is a blueprint for resurrection. It is a 90-day journey from the slavery of your personal Egypt to the promised land of your divine potential. Let me give you some practical strategies to help you succeed. First, track your progress. Get a calendar and mark an X on every day that you complete all 5 pillars. This is called the chain method, and it is incredibly powerful. The visual of an unbroken chain creates a psychological momentum. You do not want to break the chain. Second, find an accountability partner. Tell someone you trust about your commitment. Check in with them weekly. The Talmud teaches, "Kol Yisrael arevim ze bazeh." All of Israel is responsible for one another. You are not meant to do this alone. Third, prepare for the resistance. The Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, is not going to let you transform without a fight. It will whisper to you, "You are too tired today. You can skip just this once. You will start again tomorrow." Do not listen. That voice is the voice of death. The voice of life says, "Just do today. Just show up. Even if it is imperfect, do it." Fourth, celebrate the small wins. Every day you complete the protocol is a victory. Acknowledge it. Thank God for it. Gratitude amplifies the blessing. There is also a deeper layer to this. The 5 pillars correspond to the 5 levels of the soul in Kabbalah. Chokhmah, wisdom, corresponds to neshama, the higher soul, the part of you that is directly connected to God. Gevurah, discipline, corresponds to ruach, the spirit, the part of you that has willpower and strength. Avodah, service, corresponds to nephesh, the animal soul, the part of you that acts in the physical world. Hitbodedut, connection, corresponds to haya, the living essence, the part of you that is pure life force. And tzedakah, giving, corresponds to yechidah, the singular point, the part of you that is one with God. When you practice all 5 pillars daily, you are not just improving your life, you are activating all 5 levels of your soul. You are becoming fully alive, fully integrated, fully divine. Let me address the biggest obstacle you will face, the voice of doubt. Around day 20, when the initial excitement has worn off and the work feels hard, a voice will whisper, "This is not working. You are not seeing results. You are wasting your time." This is the Yetzer Hara in its most dangerous form. It is not telling you to do something evil, it is telling you to quit something good. How do you fight this? With faith, with emunah. The Torah teaches that Abraham was tested 10 times. Each test was a moment where he could have said, "This does not make sense. This is too hard. I am done." But he did not. He kept going, and because of that, he became the father of nations. Your 90 days are your 10 tests, and every time you push through the doubt, you are building the spiritual muscle of faith. You are proving to God and to yourself that you are serious, and God responds to seriousness. There is a story in the Talmud about a man named Honi, the circle maker. During a terrible drought, the people begged him to pray for rain. He drew a circle in the sand, stood inside it, and said to God, "I am not leaving this circle until you send rain." It started to drizzle. He said, "Not this kind of rain. I want a rain of blessing, a rain of abundance." And the heavens opened. This is the power of radical commitment. When you draw your circle, when you say, "I am not leaving this protocol until I am transformed," God has no choice but to respond. Your 90 days are your circle. Do not step out of it. Let me also talk about what happens after the 90 days. Some people think, "Okay, I will do this for 90 days, and then I can go back to normal." No, there is no going back. The 90 days are not a temporary challenge. They are the installation of a new operating system. After 90 days, these 5 pillars become your new normal. They are no longer hard, they are automatic. They are who you are. And from that foundation,